Now, of course, we know that in 1991, Latasha Harlins had her 15-year-old life snatched from her by Suja Du in Empire Liquor, as she was accused of stealing a less than $2 bottle of orange juice. So again, Black folks have said we have had enough. Now, there are some people like white, Hispanic, I don't know, they're learning of what Black Americans are doing. And this particular guy on Twitter said this: so Black people hate white people and Asians now? Man, the list of allies is shrinking. Better hope the Latinos are cool. Well, from what I understand, the Latinos are on the list as well. We just, getting to people one at a time. And then he also said the list of allies are shrinking.
Asian American businesses have been operating in Black communities for 60 years. I'll say it again. The Civil Rights Act passed in 1964, and the United States opened the door to Asian immigration in 1965 to put immigrants in the way of Black people. And this idea that the tension between business owners and customers is one of mutual cultural misunderstanding that could be overcome if they just got to know each other better, the time for that has long passed. And as I've said before, the problem with framing the misunderstanding as mutual is where one demographic owns the businesses and the other demographic has to pay. There's no mutuality. There is a power imbalance. The only situation that I could see being beneficial at this point would require Asian Americans to be willing to leverage their ability to secure the business loans, to secure supplier accounts, and to attain business licenses, to open in Black communities specifically to hire Black people to work in the businesses and to provide the professional development opportunities so that Black people can become the leadership in the businesses in their communities. But I don't have a lot of hope that Asian Americans are willing to do that because the Asian American business owners that we see currently are not even willing to treat their Black customers as human. So I fully support Black people boycotting these problematic businesses in their community. And I want to say that I think another thing that non-Black people aren't aware of is that it is not as simple as boycotting the businesses and putting them out of business and then opening your own to compete. Because the system will find ways to still not give them the loans or rezone them so they can't open a business or not grant the business licenses. And suppliers are literally conspiring against Black people who have managed to open a business in their own community to not supply to them because they don't want Black people competing with the Asian American owned businesses in the community. So I wish that I had more to offer in the way of solutions, but I really don't. But please do not gaslight Black people with respect to what the issue is.
So family, I just wanted to get on here and speak because when you go into anybody's house, you're supposed to say hello and speak. I'm not going to even talk long on this video today. I just want you to sit back and observe. And as you observe, I want you to listen. And while you're listening, and when you finish listening, I would like for you to apply what you have seen today. Share it with your loved ones, those in your community, and let's move forward. So without further ado, let's get into it.
The Asian community and the Latino community are in a race to see who's the biggest bootlickers to white supremacy. So back in 2025, Black Americans said, we're going to sit this one out. And Latinos said, no, you have to come out with us. And the fact that nothing is changing is your fault, even though it was us that didn't vote for our own best interest. Then the Latino community, instead of going to other communities such as the Asian community or the Middle Eastern community, decided to get mad at Black Americans because they wanted to do whatever they wanted with their personal time. And now Black Americans are telling Asian people, look, there may be anti-Blackness in your culture. Can you please address it? And Asians literally were like, So Black Americans are like, okay, we're gonna boycott your businesses then. Which they very much can. It's their money, they can do whatever they want with it. I've been heading this way for a while, but Latinos and Asian people and other immigrant groups feel entitled to the resources of Black Americans, which is insane.
Asian business.
I love when people speak out of anger. It exposes exactly what we knew you harbored in your heart. And now you just confirmed it for the world to see. Clearly, this attitude has been allowed to run so rampant in their business for so long that this is the manifestation of it. It's the heart of people, the hairs, the nails, the etc. That was an amenity not a necessity. You started in black neighborhoods, you grew your business, and you was able to graduate to the white neighborhoods. You were not allowed to start there. And that's a fact. The Chinatowns and all of these towns y'all built, you were able to secure overseas lending, in addition to the funds that you received from the black community. Whereas the banks didn't allow us to open up our businesses because they didn't want us to circulate our money within our communities to build. You're trying to compare apples to oranges. You have help, whereas black Americans started from scratch. You don't outwork anybody. You're allowed to do what you do versus native black Americans in this country. You're still not beating anybody like you try to insinuate in your condescending ass message. You don't outwork us. That's the lie that you keep telling yourself to make yourself feel better. So yeah, black Americans are right to say, we don't want to do business with you.
Well, thanks for watching. See you next time.
Right now, the black community online is talking about how they're going to boycott Asian businesses and how much they don't like Asians.
You see how quickly the devil showed up? Do you see how quickly the devil showed up? Let's get this straight. This is not about Asian hate at all. Black people saying that they're going to shop at other black businesses, to them, translates to oppression. Black people helping other black people, to them, translates to oppression. In their mind, this translates to hate towards them. Black people ain't say they hate Asian people. Y'all can care less about a black child being ran down 130 yards and catching a bullet in his back. Even when that person that shot him showed that they are already trigger happy. But y'all have all the outrage in the world the moment that black people say, hey, you know what, we're just gonna shop at other black businesses. You don't have to tell other races of people not to shop at their own people's businesses because they make it a point to shop at their people's businesses. Asian people shop historically at Asian-owned business. Indian people at Indian-owned business. Jewish people shop at Jewish businesses. Hispanic people shop at Hispanic-owned businesses. Majority of the businesses is white American, and white Americans shop at those businesses. But guess the one community that is told not to shop at their own people's businesses? Guess the one community that is told that if you shop at your people's businesses, it's not going to do anything for the black community. You guys don't need community. Community is not that important. Black people are told that. That's weird. So black people saying that they're going to shop at black-owned businesses should not trigger anybody because it is not hate for Asian people. It is support of black people. And on top of that, we're not saying that you cannot shop at black-owned businesses. You're welcome to shop there too. But you should ask yourself why advocacy for black people triggered you so much.
For what I understand, the Latinos are on the list as well. We just, getting to people one at a time.
Because they won't be back to the Essence Festival. I just watched some videos and they won't be back. That lady said the originals are here. The original what, ma'am? Y'all are mad disrespectful. Mad disrespectful. But hey, you know what? You bought it. Good luck with it. Good luck with it.
If you attended the last Essence Festival and you were one of the many people who felt that the vibe was off, well, I did a deep dive, so you don't have to. That may explain why that is. But let me start at the very beginning. Essence Magazine was founded by Edward Lewis, Clarence O. Thomas, Cecil Hollingsworth, Jonathan Blunt, and a woman by the name of Denise M. Clark. They formed a company called Essence Communications, Inc. in 1968. They launched the magazine in May of 1970. The magazine started off with a circulation of about 50,000 copies a month, but then at its height, it had 1.6 million copies in circulation each and every month. The magazine's mission was to be a lifestyle magazine geared towards upscale African-American women. In 2000, Time Inc., that is the company that publishes Time Magazine, Sports Illustrated, Fortune, they purchased a 49% ownership stake in Essence Communications Inc. And then in 2005, they purchased the rest of the ownership stake, so they owned Essence Magazine. But in 2018, Essence was sold to this man. His name is Richelieu Dennis, and his background is interesting. Richelieu Dennis is an immigrant from Liberia. That's where he grew up. And he came to the United States to attend college. After he graduated from college, he started a bath and hair care line called Sundial Brands. He grew the company, it became very successful, and in 2017, he sold Sundial Brands to Unilever, and then in 2018, he went to Time Inc. and bought Essence Communications Inc., becoming the owner of Essence Magazine and the Essence Festival. But after he purchased Essence Magazine in 2018, things really took a weird, unfortunate turn. According to reporting by The Root, in 2020, and of course you all know that was the first year that it was pure chaos because the pandemic was raging all over the world. There was a group of anonymous employees, both former employees and believed to be some current at the time employees of Essence, who under the name #BlackFemaleAnonymous wrote an open letter and they published it to Medium.com. And the contents of that open letter were quite disturbing. They accused Dennis and other C-suite executives at Essence Ventures, the new company that controlled Essence Magazine and the Essence Festival, of various abuses, including abuses of power, bullying, creating a toxic work environment, and even more unsettling, they specifically accused Dennis of having inappropriate relationships in the workplace and also sexual harassment. Now, when these allegations were published, many of the accused executives had already moved on from the company. But Dennis stepped aside and he tapped Caroline Wanga, who was an executive at Target, to come over and serve as interim of Essence Ventures that controlled Essence Magazine and Essence Festival. Reportedly, Wanga retained an outside law firm that did an internal investigation of all of the allegations. The law firm reported that they could find no evidence to substantiate the allegations, and it all went away. But Wanga continued on as CEO of Essence Ventures, a position that she holds to this day. Carolyn Wanga is an immigrant from Kenya. So now you have a 55-year-old Black American institution that was created to edify and celebrate Black American women and Black American culture in the hands of owners who are not Black American. They are immigrants from Africa, and that does make a big difference. And I know there are going to be people coming into my comments saying, you're being divisive. No, I am not. What I am tired of is I am tired of Black Americans, our struggles and our fights for liberation and everything that we build being taken by others and used to springboard them into the access that we still have to fight for. I grew up with my mother reading Essence Magazine all throughout my childhood. Essence Magazine and Ebony were all over our house. And so this does mean a great deal to me, as I know that it means a great deal to you all. And now this institution is in the hands of Africans. And if you felt during the last Essence Festival that the focus was different, that may be intentional. I want to shout out my mutual, Tabitha Speaks Politics. I'm going to tag her in the caption of this video. Please go watch her video where she does a deep dive into the agenda that both Dennis and Carolyn Wanga have for not only Essence Magazine, but Essence Festival moving forward. And I would just say that Black American women and Black American culture are not the planned focus going forward. And I really do have a problem with that. I just want to say that not all skin folk are kinfolk.
It is said that in the Asian community, the dollar circulates for 1 month before it leaves that community, 30 days. In the Jewish community, that dollar circulates for 20 days before it leaves the Jewish community, which is a relatively small community in numbers. In the white community, the dollar circulates for 17 days before it leaves that community. But in the Black community, our dollar only circulates for 6 hours before it leaves our community. Brothers and sisters, that is something that has to change. And the perfect time for us to make that change is on what they call Black Friday during this so-called holiday season.